All right, welcome guys. Welcome to AI Wisdom Wednesday for November. Excited to share and highlight an entirely new tool that some of you may have heard of before on X called Grok, and we're going to walk through all the fun stuff that you can do with this new tool and sort of share where it is in the mix among other tools that we've gone over. So, kind of quick intro. Wisdom Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, second Wednesday of the month, and we try to pick an AI topic that I'm using, that the team's using, just to sort of share a little bit of wisdom to help empower you guys with all the things that are coming out with AI. Here's the most recent dates we had. Today, the 13th, we will do one in December, which is a pretty exciting topic that I'll share at the very end for everybody as well. So the agenda for these Wisdom Wednesdays, always like to recap kind of last topic discussed. So last month, share any trending news in AI. So much is happening. I mean, we could be doing this every Wednesday, really, to be honest. There's just so much to cover. But then we'll spend most of our time introducing the new topic for today, hopefully giving you guys a quick win, and then do a live demo with any Q&A at the end, where it's more like an open forum, happy to answer questions, try to do some different examples from what we learned. So let's kick it off by recapping the last topic discussed real quick. Last October, or this past month, we covered conversational AI. So there was a launch of something called advanced voice mode in ChatGPT, and we walked through, what is conversational AI or CAI, how it's different from generative AI, why it's important, with a CAI expected to grow 340% over the next 10 years. Then we went into a live exercise demo of the advanced voice mode launched by OpenAI within ChatGPT. And some of the trending news after we did that, even the same week we had that Wisdom Wednesday, I mentioned there would be a new search UI coming in ChatGPT that was launched. So we're thinking about possibly doing a Wisdom Wednesday on that, but it's essentially a competitor to really Google search, and that is live now if you're a paying member for ChatGPT. We've also seen, since we last met, Claude, another topic we've talked about in prior Wisdom Wednesdays, launched a new model called Claude 3.5, which you can sort of see here on the right-hand side how it's performing in terms of benchmarks against what they see as their competitors. So their prior model, the ChatGPT 4.0 mini model, and then Gemini, which is a Google product. So that has launched and has improved dramatically from even the prior model. So we may likely hit that again in our December Wisdom Wednesday, which again, I'll highlight that topic at the end. What else is left? As of mid-July, we've been sort of tracking all these different changes and updates that have been planned for AI. Believe it or not, we're at the sort of last 2 months here of the year, and there's two big updates coming that, as they come out, we may be able to include them in our December Wisdom Wednesday. But GPT-5, or an entirely new model that is supposedly being worked on by OpenAI, is apparently very, very close. So we may see that in December. Could also maybe see it push into January. But then Grok 3, so we're going to go over Grok today. Today is a 2.0 model, but they actually are already planning to release a newer version of that model here this month or by the end of the year. So we'll explain that as well. All right, so introducing kind of the new topic, let's go into to Grok, an entirely new product that I'd say is kind of the dark horse in terms of awareness and people using it, but is probably starting to catch the most ground when it comes to some of these models over time. So our goal today is going to be having you leave here knowing what is Grok, how to use it, and hopefully this will equip you with some new ways to use AI and ignite that passion for innovation that you have. As a reminder, some of these popular offerings we've talked about, because there's a lot out there. We've yet to cover Llama by Facebook, which is now Meta, or Gemini. We'll sort of think about how we potentially include those in future. And I really just try to run these to show tools that I use and find value in on a daily basis. So OpenAI we've covered, but again, we're going to get you filled in on Grok so you can add another tool to the toolkit. Grok was launched in November of 2023, so it's only a year old as of this month. And within that year, you can sort of see here, kind of, you ask Grok like what it is. It's this helpful assistant, just like all the other platforms. But the difference is it's going to be in real time, right? So this is being built off of X, which is formerly Twitter, and all of the data that's being poured in on a daily basis into X feeds. How does this model perform? So Grok launched November 2023 as their first version, right? So Grok 1.0. They launched 2.0, I believe, like August, September timeframe, and that's what you see here highlighted in blue. To the left is the prior model. To the right is GPT, which is OpenAI, Claude here, which we've shown you guys how to use before. Then you have Google, Facebook, Meta, which is called Llama, another OpenAI model, and then another version of Claude. So the most recent versions of Grok 2.0 have improved dramatically, and we're going to see another version of that, as I mentioned, 3.0. Elon Musk just recently said he believes this will be the most powerful AI that's in the world when 3.0 launches, and that's primarily because of some of the massive computer centers that these guys are building. When I say guys, X AI specifically, OpenAI, et cetera. And one of the quotes here, you'd be able to train 10 times, soon to 20 times the compute power on this data. And to help kind of explain that, one of my favorite memes as it relates to all this stuff is explaining what is artificial intelligence and machine learning. Is sort of the idea that, oh, this is just a kind of computer language learning model, but the reality is it's statistics, right? It's data on the back end that is being put into some type of statistical model, and you need a lot of computers running at the same time to really process that much data. And that's really why it takes nuclear power plants to get this kind of speed when it comes to these models. But the point is they're moving fast and they're going to continue to get better. So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump in. A few things to note. There is an open chat, so feel free to send us some chat if you have questions as we go through here. If something doesn't make sense, I've got a couple panelists on here that'll flag me down to be able to help as well. So this is what the interface is going to look like, and we're going to jump into it here in a second. This is a mobile version. I would say a lot of people use X, probably more on mobile than desktop, but it's available on both. Again, you're kind of very similar format, right? Where you've got your prompt bar we're going to be able to ask and chat with the model. Some things that Grok can do that I think better probably than maybe some other models. Its ability to explain memes, and images. Some of the models like ChatGPT have gotten really good at being able to explain an image. I would say Grok is really, really good at that. They also can code. The coding's not nearly as good as some of the other platforms yet, but is on the rise. And there's some other things we'll obviously dig into that make it different, with the biggest one being more the real-time news and kind of what's happening. So how do you get set up, and what's the cost for Grok and what we'll be showing today? There are two subscription models on X. One is premium and one's premium plus. They're fairly affordable. One's 8, the premium plus is 16. That basically gets you access to early access Grok models, as well as the current models we're going to show you today. They have launched actually as of I think this week free access version to their model for any user and all users of X, as long as I believe you have a verified phone number so they know you're a real user. But that free version uses their model, gets you 10 to 20 queries every couple hours, and obviously is going to help them further develop their modeling. But there is a free version now, so if you're on this call and want to start getting set up right after, you'll be able to do that. All right, so I'm going to exit out of this presentation and jump right into to the demo. All right, I think everybody can hear me okay. Cool. Awesome. All right, so this is naturally the interface for X.com. Again, very similar to what you'd see if you're in mobile. Typically, you sort of see your home feed, and on the left-hand side, you're going to see this tool Grok. Okay, so this is what we're going to be using. This little history button is how you go back to see different chats you've had. So we'll just kind of get a quick lay of the land. Here are the different models. So very similar to how ChatGPT and Claude are set up. You can pick what model you want to use. I always use the best model that's out there. If there's something you want to do that's faster, you can use the mini model. They also have one that's kind of interesting because Elon Musk is likes funny stuff. They have a fun mode. We're not going to use that today, but if you wanted to tell you jokes, it's it can be pretty juvenile, but it's pretty funny at times. We're not going to do that today, though. So let's just jump into a couple of prompts, sort of show you how it works. I'll just quickly click some that are pre-made, and then we're going to dive into some custom ones I have. But this gives you a quick feel for how similar this is to other AI LLM models, right? So you can quickly see we can engage with this. We could have added an image here. We can copy this, we can share it, we could rerun and regenerate this prompt, and then we could go back and create a new one. Okay. All right, so let's start with, we got a lot of prompts to go through. We're going to prompt like we would any other LLM model, and walk through what results we get. So this one is going to be used, and I always like to share this first. So anytime you're using a new AI tool, and if you don't really know how to prompt it, you can ask it, right? So we're going to ask it how to prompt Grok. So we're going to say, hey, we're a sports facility, business owner, where athletes train, they participate in certain types of events, and we're going to say, let's say we're talking about a field hockey training facility, and throw a period on that. And could you provide 25 prompts that would be helpful and provide context? So let's see what it says here. And again, this is a prompt you would use to just get some ideas, quickly on how you could use Grok to help you. So it's sharing here on each of the categories we'd ask for. We want help in finance, marketing, technology development, or legal. And it's given us some great ideas. How to optimize a website. So again, some of the same things you can do with ChatGPT and Claude, all right here. So I always love that particular prompt. Another thing you could do is sort of ask maybe for specific use cases. So let's we'll just keep this thread going. What are 10 use cases for how to use Grok to help grow my field hockey training business? Maybe these will be different than prompts. So these are a little bit more specific use case types. It's going to be great for SEO. We're going to show you that in a second, given its real-time nature and what people are talking about. It's going to be great for content creation because it's going to have, again, real-time data, and it can grab, what are people talking about in your particular sport or niche within sports or whatever business you're running. Training plans, you can do some of that cool stuff. So again, this is a great prompt to grab some of your use cases. All right, so what really separates, in my opinion, and when do I use Grok? I use it a lot for trends. And then I also will use it for image generation because it does a really good job with images. So we're going to actually start with some trend analysis. So let's start by asking to identify trends in field hockey, and specifically field hockey for youth female athletes. So it's giving you some good answers here. All these things we can then turn into, maybe we're trying to improve our blog, maybe we're trying to improve awareness of our business, maybe we're trying to identify, some talking points, potential gaps and opportunities within that particular niche space, which is really, really cool. So all things you could do. But let's kind of expand on this and keep going. So I'm going to start another one. Let's ask Grok what are parents of athletes most dissatisfied with in youth sports. So, let's say we want to try to potentially identify, again, kind of a gap or an opportunity for our business. Well, we would start with where people are most dissatisfied, right, in a particular area. So we're getting some pretty good ones: excessive cost, maybe the way people behave, okay, shouting instructions. That's obviously very common in our space. But you kind of see some really good ones. And then what's great is they actually will share some of the different posts that people, that have basically fed this information. So we could potentially use these links to go learn, a little bit more, maybe find some more keywords or reference these sources if we were to say maybe create a blog, right? So maybe particularly in this one, we could write, ask it to write a blog. Let's do that. Write a blog about parents investing a significant amount of money in their children's sports, including, I'm just basically taking that guy's post. Awesome. So again, getting a really good content. You're starting to kind of see how it can be similar in terms of writing, but grabbing really modern well, not modern, more real-time data and information, right? So again, it's referencing some different sources of information. So we naturally want to check and make sure we agree with some of these posts and what they're saying. But these would be great at, as backlinks, to these particular posts within our blog post, et cetera, for this example. All right, so let's see if we can now let's stick on this trends thing. So help identify gaps in youth field hockey training. Let's just start with that. All right, so it's sort of thinking we consider several aspects based on current practices and needs in the sport. Let's see if it references any posts. It didn't reference any posts. Let's ask it. All right, so identify gaps based on X users and conversations about field hockey. So again, like any prompting, right, the more specific we get, the better our output. But it's grabbing some users and putting in some really good stuff here. Awesome. All right. So again, we could follow back up on this. Maybe we want to, write a blog. Maybe we want, ideas on how to make something a new revenue stream, et cetera. But this gives you a good feel for how that might work. Another trend here, and then we'll move into two other areas. But let's look at what are the newest trends on wearables. Popular among athletes or coaches in, let's just say, youth soccer. So maybe your team again is doing research on it. There's some wearables, things we should add to the facility that are popular, right? Again, how do we make our business relevant? And so immediately we're getting some good stuff. I've not heard of actually these smart shin guards. Doesn't surprise me though. But again, some really great quick answers on tools and wearables. So again, this is very helpful because we're getting what people are talking about, right? In the current live environment of X posts. Now we're going to try a marketing prompt. Let's see how it does with that. So I'm going to copy and paste a new prompt in here. So I'm going to ask it to build a personalized marketing campaign. I want it to act as a youth sports marketing genius, analyze available data to identify what motivates youth female athletes to play field hockey. Then let's design a Facebook ad, Google ad, and write an email campaign to convert new leads into customers for an upcoming camp. Maybe I really stumped it here. It's funny. Give it another second. If it doesn't, we'll just refresh it. All right, let's try stopping. And we'll do it again, except maybe I'll save we'll ask this after. Let's start with this. All right, so now it's given us personalized ideas for our campaign, role models. Maybe we want to ask for some specific examples. So let's ask for that. What are things people are saying about the positive impacts or impact of playing field hockey for young athletes? So let's see if we can grab some positive points to share. Maybe we want to add these to our website, want to share them on social media, etc. All right. Cool. All right. Some pretty good stuff. Now we could ask it to write an email, maybe a Google ad. Let's do a Facebook ad real quick. We like, let's see, confidence and self-esteem. When interested in field hockey, to my website, Crossroads Field Hockey, to sign up for our upcoming Thanksgiving Thanksgiving Day camp. Okay, so it looks like we said write a Facebook ad. This is obviously pretty long. Feels more like probably a landing page than an ad, but some really good content on here as well. So it gives you an idea on how you can write an ad there. All right, so I want to I know we got about 10 minutes. So I want to drive into images because the images are really, really awesome on here. So let's take a look at that. I'll start a new chat, and I'm just going to copy and paste a few of these in here for you. So let's do this. First one, we're just going to try to design an esports logo. I love Lewis Hamilton. Sorry for anybody who's not a Mercedes F1 fan, but let's see how quickly we can get an image. Just to give you a feel, and then we'll show you how realistic we can get. So I think they really do a really good job on the images. Some real use cases that I think would be valuable. Designing maybe new landing pages. So this is one that I think can be helpful to get an idea or feel for designing a new landing page. In our December AI Wisdom Wednesday, when we go over how to build kind of an AI workflow, that one's actually not a great image. Let's try that one. I'm going to show you how to then take this image, put it into Claude to generate the code. But again, another great tool for creative on the designing landing pages. Some of the people that you can design could be really, really helpful if you're trying to get some photography for your website or maybe your Google ads or whatever it might be. So let me show you how to do that and what that can look like. So we're going to design an ultra realistic outdoor athlete action photo from Nike. Obviously, we'd have to be careful using actual Nike imagery in here. So this one's good. Doesn't have Nike on it. Do it again. Again, this is a pretty basic prompt, so we could get very detailed for our sport, which we'll do. Let me keep showing some more here. Let's do another one where we change the lens angle. So this one's gonna be a realistic outdoor athlete, again from Nike with wide angle lens. That one's not good. Let's see what else we get here. All right, not bad. Let's design a soccer player. Let's keep getting a little more specific. Design an image with an unsplashed Brazilian woman playing soccer. It's pretty realistic, right? And do another one. So I do think this is some of the imagery you can get from here does beat some of the images you're getting, can get, I think, of real people out of ChatGPT and Claude from what we've seen. And, that's likely because of the ability for Grok to train off of real images that are being shared, daily. Some other examples, maybe if you run a Pilates place or you want to get an image of somebody for that, create an image of Pilates exercise ball training. Obviously the mirror, it doesn't match up with the person, but you get the idea. Here's another one. Maybe you want to show, maybe you don't have a facility, or you just want to show somebody sitting outside of your facility. So here's a prompt to show a realistic image of somebody sitting outside of a field hockey training center with the name Crossroads Field Hockey. I always use negative prompts to try to eliminate, 4 fingers and 3 fingers and things like that. but pretty wild. So they get the text right majority of the time. We'll do another one. You can also edit your post just like you could in any other language learning platform. So you hit edit, we'd have to stop and maybe redo it, hit send again. So that's always helpful. There's another one. That's a great picture. Crossroads Field Hockey spelled perfectly. Looks like we're overlooking a field. So again, a great way to create your images right within Grok. So I'm going to pause here, see if there's any questions. I'll open up this chat. Feel free to, if there's anything you guys would like to see on here. While you do that, I'll cover the next topic for December. So for December, what we're going to do, we may go a little longer than 30 minutes, but we're going to walk through how to actually create a workflow with AI. So we've now shown ChatGPT multiple times, Claude, and then Grok today. So there's a term that Gartner's starting to use called multi-agentic workflows. And so how would you basically use all these tools, right? They all do different things better than some things. So for example, creating a landing page, how do we then create the image, take it in somewhere to code it, to get some good code, to look at it, and then maybe we want to write the content for that landing page. So we're going to show some different workflows and how you could really leverage each one of these platforms for different parts of an actual business process, and we'll do that in December. Cool. Well, I'm not seeing any questions unless Courtney and Sebastian see something I'm not seeing. Good, cool. All right, well, I want to thank everybody for hopping on, and hopefully this was helpful and get you guys another tool to use in the AI